Hi, my name is Rachel Braithen. I am an international yoga teacher living in Aruba, and I'm here today to talk to you about one of my biggest passions in life, which is stand-up paddleboard yoga. Throughout this video, we'll be showing you some different aspects of this practice, beginning with the equipment, so the paddle board, how to properly care for your board, and also what to think about when you're buying a board to use for your yoga practice. Also, we'll go through different types of practice, where you can take your board out on the water, how to be safe when you're out there, but maximize all of the fun. We'll also go through a full flow, and I'll break down some fun poses and have a lot of fun out on the water. What I'd like to do now is talk you through some very important aspects of the paddleboard. Beginning with the top of the board, you have the nose at the very front. The back of the board is called the tail, and the sides of the board are the rails. Right here on the very top, you have the tie down, which is great if you want to bring some water with you out on the water. And also it's a great spot to place your paddle down so you have a free space to practice on the deck of the board. Moving lower down, you have the actual deck, which is actually a water wicking yoga mat right here, giving you a great grip and preventing you to slip and slide. At the center is a handle, which we use to pick the board up. It's also a great reference point to make sure you know where the center of the board is, where you have the most stability. Coming all the way to the back, we have the leash plugs right here. One you can use to tie the board down to anchor your board, and the other one you can use for a leash, making sure your board stays where you are. On the back of the tail right here, we have the fin, giving you extra stability out on the water. Putting the fin on your actual board is not at all as tricky as it looks, but you can learn in a few very simple steps. Every BOGA board comes with one screw, one square nut, and one fin. The first thing you want to do is take your square nut, place it right at the center of the fin box, and make sure it slides all the way down. Then take your screwdriver, put it through the slot, and slide the nut all the way towards the front of the slot. From there, take your fin. You want to make sure the point of the fin is facing the tail of the board. Take the screw end, place it right at the center of the slot, and slide it back. From here, take your screwdriver again, and you're going to point the little square nut back so it matches with the hole of the fin. And take your screwdriver, put it through the hole, and screw it all the way tight. Another very important part of the equipment for paddleboarding is, of course, the actual paddle. There are two types of paddles. There's a fixed type, which comes in a certain size already, and there's an adjustable type you can adjust to fit your actual size. This paddle right here is an adjustable paddle. I personally very much like the adjustable ones because you can adjust them to fit every type of student that comes to your class. Making sure you have the right size of the paddle for you, you want to be able to grab a hold of the very top of the paddle right here and still keep a little bend around the elbow. If you look down at your paddle, you'll notice it comes with a little bit of a bend. That bend is facing forward when you paddle at all times. It's also usually where the logo or the color of the paddle is. One hand goes on the very top, the other hand about hip height. Feet are hip distance apart, and keep a little bend around the knees when you paddle for stability. To pick the board up and carry it into the water, you want to place your paddle down with the face of the blade facing upward towards the sky. Grabbing a hold of the handle right at the center of the board, use the other hand to pick the board up and then take a big step closer in towards the board. Place one hand to the front, put a little bend around your knees, and then lift it up from the ground. From here, make sure you don't have any people in the way because the board is longer than it looks. Turn around and begin walking towards the water. Now, getting onto the board while it's in the water, you may want to start from your knees. So placing the paddle to the side, one knee at a time, come onto the actual center of the board, and then pick the paddle up. If you want to paddle on your knees, you hold onto the paddle at the center because you're much closer to the surface of the water. When you're ready to come standing on your 2 feet, you place your paddle down. Keep your hands on the board for stability, and then 1 foot at a time, slowly, placing the whole sole of the foot onto the board, bending your knees, taking your paddle with you when you come all the way up to your standing position. One hand on the very top of the handle, the other hand hip height, keeping your arms nice and straight. Dip the whole paddle into the water and then stroke from the nose all the way to your feet.